Hi, this is Ben Roberts, one of the developers of the Weaving Lab map, with a little video about a game called the Weaving Lab Oracle. So this was something that was developed by a group that I was a part of that put on a twice a year virtual gathering called Now What. We had a social system map, much like the one that's been developed for the Weaving Lab. There was lots of really rich profile data and some interesting, quirky kinds of things on there. And we found that picking random bits of that data and interpreting it as if it was information from an oracle was a really fun thing. And often there were surprising insights that came out of such a seemingly random and perhaps silly process. So we want to invite you to give it a try and consult the Now What Oracle. And so the way that it works is that you want a small group. It takes maybe 20 minutes to play a round of it. So you could incorporate this as part of a call that you're also just getting together to get to know each other and do a little bit of more traditional weaving if you like, and then decide to play the game. And one person is going to be the person who's asking a question of the oracle. So you decide among yourselves who that's going to be. Somebody volunteers, maybe you play a few rounds and everybody gets a turn. That's up to you. But once you've got your question, and it should be ideally it's something you care about the answer to. Generally better if it's not a yes or no question, but something with a bit of nuance and room for interpretation. And so then that person has their question in mind and states the question to the group. And then the other people in the group go through a random process with that person of selecting three pieces of information from the map and then interpreting them one at a time. So let's take a look at the map and I'll show you how we've set it up for you to do this. I mean, you could pick any kind of information you wanted, but I've highlighted some particular ones that I think might make for a fun game. And this is kind of based on some of what we learned from doing this with the Now What global gathering. So here's the default view of the map, the directory view. And what you want to do is go down here to this new view, the Weaving Lab Oracle view, where what I've done is I've coded the different profiles to highlight who's provided certain kinds of information. So the suggestion is you consult the Oracle by randomly selecting three pieces of information: a piece of music that you listen to together, um, a statement about somebody's weaving activities and interests. So the music is indicated here. People who shared music have a purple halo around them. Some people in their profiles have shared information about weaving activities and interests. They are square in their shape. And then some people have shared answers to other playful and interesting stuff besides music. And they are a larger size than the rest. So there's a larger one, smaller one. So we can see this person has shared that additional playful and interesting stuff. So what you do is the person who's asking the question closes their eyes and meditates on the question, holds that question in their heart mind, and one of the other members of the group just randomly moves their mouse around the map until the person asking the question says stop. And then you pick the person that's right there, that's closest to the particular item that you're looking for. So let's say you're on music. I'm right here. That's good. Inky has selected a piece of music. We see the purple halo there. Scroll down to the bottom, and here's a Spotify link. So you can now play that song, you listen to it together, and you make a little bit of meaning together about, what is that telling us about the answer to the question? And then you do it again. This next time you could do it with the weaving activities and interest information. So again, you're moving the mouse around randomly. The person asking a question has their eyes closed. They say stop. And at that point, you go to the nearest square and see what Victoria had to say about her weaving activities and interests. So that's right here. And you could pick something else too. There's other blocks of text that might be worth looking at, more about my work, or even this top statement about what drew people to the Weaving Lab. But I thought that this one about weaving activities and interests might be a particularly fun one, and we're not highlighting it in any other views on the map as well. So again, part of the point here is to encourage you to really look at the profile data that people provided. So you do that one, and then one more time, you close. The person asking questions is closing their eyes. Somebody else is moving their mouse around. They say stop, and then you're picking the nearest large person for that final bit of playful, interesting stuff. So we scroll down, that's all at the bottom. There is the piece of music, but we're looking at some of these other things. If you could be any food dish, what would you choose and why? Or personal interests and pastimes, a book that's inspiring you, your favorite metaphor associated with weaving. You can pick any of that or all of it and make the meaning that you want out of that information. So that's how you play the game. I hope you all try it out and just, if nothing else, use it as an excuse for us to get together and do more weaving within the Weaving Lab, because it strikes me that we're all obviously weavers. We love to weave, and yet somehow there's a whole lot more potential for us to weave together with one another than I think has been happening, and especially to use the map, which so many of you have put so much care and effort and energy into, in terms of adding your profile information. So let's use the map. Let's tap into the richness that's there and have some fun in the process.